Last week, we got to play the new modes coming to Grand Theft Auto Online, and it's called free mode events. And I'd probably say they're the biggest thing to happen to GTA Online since heists. Is that $2 grand?
No.
There you go. Unanimous.
Sort of.
But it's a bunch of stuff. It's kind of hard saying like free mode. It's actually a bunch of different modes, very different in what you do in them and how you access them. So the big thing to say is it kind of removes the need to ever, once you're in GTA Online, to actually go and enter anything or accept missions.
You don't need to go into a lobby.
So it's like if you just want to go and hang out in GTA Online like we sometimes do at lunch, you can just go into online and stuff will happen. Like there will be events that appear, I think, like every 12 minutes or so.
So a free mode event is triggered every 12 minutes, and I think Rockstar called them like ambient events. So they happen in the background, and you can take place if you want to, or you don't. It's entirely up to you. It's a nice way of earning kind of extra cash, extra RP, without waiting around in lobbies, because sometimes that does take a while.
Yeah.
But also, like if you're just waiting for people to turn up between heists and stuff like that.
So it's kind of a playlist that you don't even have to like set any parameters.
Exactly.
Obviously, the content is free. You're not going to be charged for it. The first one that we played was called the Fastest Speed Challenge, which is pretty obvious.
Pretty self-explanatory.
You've got, I think it was 3 minutes or a few minutes to clock up the fastest speed possible.
Yeah. So and that includes getting whatever car you want from your garage.
Yeah. So
picking the biggest strip of land. I mean, some of us went down to the airfield.
So
it's just a
if you
huge
choose
track.
to take partake in the event, you have an X amount of time to prep for the event. So we were all getting in the fastest car that we own and getting to a place in the map where you can make a decent fist of it. So I went down to the highway. Somebody went to the airport. Yeah. So you want obviously a big strip of continuous road to clock up the miles. Mileage.
The speed.
The speed.
Speed
there
even.
you go.
Yes.
Sorted.
And then obviously whoever wins, the top 3 people get rewards, RP and cash. And then you basically hang around until the next one kicks in 12 minutes later. Now, the next one we played was probably my favourite of the lot, and it was called Penned In. And the idea was that everybody kind of meets in a central area, and when everybody's there and the event triggers, there's a big kind of coloured dome that covers the cars, and you've got to stay inside that dome to survive. Now, the dome moves around the map, and over time it shrinks and shrinks and shrinks. So it's hard to stay in. It goes over kind of crazy obstacles and through terrain that not all cars or bikes can get up.
Yeah, it's quite difficult to predict the path as well. A lot of the times it'll go down a road and then kind of turn, throwing everyone off. So, and all it takes is to be, if you're outside the circle for 9 seconds,
9 seconds.
Isn't it? 9 consecutive seconds, your car explodes and you're out of the race. It is worth mentioning as well, I think it caps off at about 15, 16 people can play at one time. You can still go to the event when those people are playing and be a spectator, watch everyone else playing and sticking it
It's really kind of tense and funny because you'll get to a point where the dome is near, say, a building and you don't know which way it's going to go, and you might have to go out of the dome to drive around the building to ultimately get back in the dome on the other side, but the dome might change direction and leaving you stranded. So it's, there's lots of tactics. There you go. And sometimes you might need a faster car. There's lots of different tactics to go
Well, even at the end when I think it was you, me, and someone else from Rockstar, and the dome was only large enough to fit one car in right
we're
at
all
the
jostling
end.
and,
so you just kind of go through and then your countdown begins again and you all have to just keep driving through and
that one's a
into
lot
each
of
other.
fun.
It was great. Very chaotic. Very fun.
The next one was called Criminal Damage, and the whole idea of that is basically to cause as much damage as possible. So rocket launcher in cars, causing massive pile-ups. Yeah. We got in a bit of a kind of fracas, just you versus me. Didn't actually cause that much damage.
I thought it would be like a tactical thing. You take out your enemies, and then when they're dead, you can destroy things.
Steal their stuff,
it wasn't, because they respawn and they kill you, and then you become a feud while everyone else is destroying
Although
things.
you did, so you spawned your own helicopter.
Well, I had quite a clever start. I spawned my own golden helicopter and then blew it up with a rocket and just shot to the leaderboard immediately. Of course, I had to pay for that, which wasn't very good, but the instant gratification was incredible.
But it's
quite a clever way of doing it.
It's like classic Rampage. You don't get wanted level.
Yeah.
But what's key about that challenge is I completely screwed myself because I didn't get into a good starting position. I was just in the middle of nowhere. Where in the time before the event kicks off, you want to get somewhere like a tunnel on a freeway where cars going to be coming to you. Because once you destroy everything around you, then you're going to have to lose time traveling somewhere. So it's actually thinking about where you want to be once the event starts is kind of a tactic.
Yeah, because I was playing in a buzzard because I thought, well, aerial advantage, just look down and shoot the crap out of anything with my rockets, but in
Blew
there
him
with his homing launchers. It's like brilliant.
And then there was what, like 500 grand to me in the damage points.
But yeah, I was literally stuck in the middle of nowhere after that with
Great.
like nothing. So
It's fun though.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Second to last up was Kill This Competitive, and that's when we all bundled into helicopters, and all of the Merryweather mercenaries came towards us, and so 2 teams of 4, I believe. So you had a pilot, somebody on the front gunner, 2 people on the side, Gatling guns, and you basically had to take out as many of the Merryweather guys as possible.
Who can take most down Merryweather? And they were like on the floor. There were other helicopters, so it was a bit like a shooting gallery, but also a lot of teamwork because you have to communicate with your pilot.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun.
You know how difficult it is. All the guns have certain ranges that they can hit. So it's all about communication. I'd say in that one. But it was really good. It's one of those things where you want to have that opportunity in free mode to be able to destroy all these cars and kill all these people without having to worry about the police.
Yeah.
And it's great that you're given the opportunity with these free mode games.
Yeah, I think the important thing about them to state is that if you look at heists, they were vast kind of sprawling missions that would take hours to complete. These are snackable,
more
kind of
bite-sized,
5-minute kind of like ways to kind of pass the time within the game.
Apart from the next one, which can be run up to 30 minutes, I think
so, yeah.
Which is Beast Mode, which I think is
Hunt
kind of
the Beast.
Hunt the Beast.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
went Beast Mode
which is
in
kind
Hunt
of the
the
most unusual and slightly supernatural of these new modes. And what it is, somebody is randomly selected to be the Beast, and as the Beast, they are superpowered, they're faster, they're stronger, they can soak up more damage, and they look like Michael J. Fox in Teen Wolf.
Which is the greatest thing of all time.
Yeah.
It was incredible. So it's the same with all these challenges. Once it appears on your phone, everyone opts in, and then someone is secretly selected as the Beast. So even when you're playing with your friends, you don't know who the Beast is. So when we were playing with Rockstar, I actually got selected by the Beast. I was laughing and smiling the whole time, so I didn't do a very good job of containing the fact that I was actually the Beast.
So the dynamic is, you're the Beast because obviously you look very different, but
Exactly.
everyone else playing can't see the Beast. So
appear on the map.
you're invisible to us. And as the Beast, you've got to visit 10 locations dotted around the map.
Yeah, different checkpoints.
And when you go to those locations, you're visible on the map for 10 seconds, and so the second location you're visible for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and so
Builds
on,
and builds.
making it harder for you and easier for us to identify you.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because we were playing with like 10 people, and some people were in choppers, some people were on the ground, and we were like it's like looking for a needle in a haystack to begin with.
Like one person in a city that size.
Which is
really
ridiculous,
hard.
but then when you're nearby, you can hear the person growl.
Yeah.
And then you're kind of looking for people acting out of character, or like people like bumping into, like somebody crashing into stuff.
Yeah.
But you had a cool moment where you visited one location and you kind of hoodwinked everyone.
So everyone was kind of sprawled all over the map, and I visited my first location, and then of course I pop up on everyone's map, so they all know where the Beast is. So they all kind of swarmed to the checkpoint location, and instead of trying to take off in like a jet or a motorbike, I actually hopped into a garbage truck and just drove very civilized, following all the stop signs and everything down the road. And fighter jets and buzzards and sports cars went whizzing past me, and they didn't even realize that I was just sitting
like
there
heat.
in the truck. It was very, very tense, but really, really entertaining.
But it was cool because later on we identified that you were in the garbage truck, and I was just kind of like combing the city streets, and I heard this on chat, and I saw at an intersection this garbage truck just like bomb across, and like, I've got him.
Yeah.
And it's kind of this really cool like manhunt situation,
Yeah.
and it's got kind of this weird supernatural twist because I pulled you out of the car,
Yeah.
and you're a werewolf.
Yeah, and then as well, I was like, okay, game
Did you
over.
have to kill him, or-
Yeah, I was like shooting you really close range.
I
but you
soaked up a lot of damage.
but
I
you-
reckon I did get trapped in somewhere.
You
and
got,
then
like,
I
trapped
pretty
in the
much got
doorway.
ambushed. But there was no like you could survive a lot of gunfire as the Beast.
So yeah, you've got 30 minutes to go to all the locations, and yeah.
And I think because we only played it once, I think the more familiar you get with the Beast and his skills, like you can probably do a lot more than get trapped down the back.
And hide in a garbage
You
truck. That's probably the worst tactic ever. Who knows? It's probably a way better way.
But that's the thing, you have to be in a vehicle really, because otherwise you're very distinctive.
Yeah, you don't just walk down the street.
So
as
you got a
Michael
bright
J.
red
Fox.
varsity
Yeah.
jacket as well.
Yeah. So there are also going to be another 10 ambient events happening around launch, kind of all sort of based off similar themes. But also coming out at the same time is 2 new adversary modes. One was Cross the Line, which we played, which was a 4v4. Well, I guess it's just it's a bit like a deathmatch,
It's
really.
like Bulldogs Across.
Yes.
So it's like two lines, and one's a red line, one's a blue line. There's a red team, blue team, and you've got to get across the opposite line, but you have to get all members of your team across that line.
Yeah.
And that sounds easy, but it's actually quite difficult.
Because there's not a lot of cover, really.
There's not a lot of cover.
Limited
it's quite
weapons
easy to
as
die
well.
if you get stuck in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was surprisingly difficult. I thought it was going to be easier.
Well, you only get a grenade, a machine gun, and a shotgun.
Yeah, one
There's-
single grenade.
And there's
Yeah.
a couple of higher powered weapons dotted around the map.
But it was tough. It was definitely tough. You know, another one of those games where communication is absolutely key. Because if you get behind enemy lines, it means nothing if your team are back
Yeah,
at
it's just
respawn.
one dude,
and all
yeah.
you can do is just hold them back. So
Yeah.
it was definitely. I found that one of the most difficult games out of them all. I lost every single round.
Yeah.
So
Terrible.
yeah, it was better. Put me back as a beast. Way better.
But then again, the other adversary mode, which was probably my favourite of the two, was called Hunting Pack.
Oh, yeah.
Another 4v4 game. The defenders are three guys in fast sports cars or other kind of vehicles, and then one VIP car, and they've got to protect that vehicle from four guys who have basically got to take it out before it gets to its destination. So we played that twice. First time it was a fire engine, which we had to protect.
The second one was like a flatbed truck.
It's always quite an awkward vehicle. The whole idea is,
Yeah.
I mean, there's no
it's
guns
basi-
involved. It's if the speed of the VIP vehicle slows down to a certain point or it stops completely, it will explode.
Yeah.
Like
So-
that movie.
Like that movie, Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was definitely one of the ones. And like as we were saying, we are getting some serious Mad Max vibes. You know, you got this big truck.
It's
all these
basically
cars
Fury
trying
Road
to-
meets Speed.
It was great. It was
And
really,
because you're
really
on highways, and the VIP can take any route they want to the destination. Obviously, because they need to maintain a high speed, it's more advantageous if they stay on kind of a straight
open
road,
road, yeah.
rather
Yeah.
than going down back alleys. But you get this kind of amazing zigzagging and like cars trying to take each other out, or two of you on one side of a truck trying to like topple it over or force it into a tree.
Yeah.
It's really chaotic.
Because I think it's hard as well.
Yeah.
Like so we played. So each game was 3 rounds. So we played 6 matches in all. Not one single time did the VIP actually make it to their destination.
Yeah. Or we could be rubbish.
Well, that was so. I played as the VIP once. I did okay.
Yeah, I think you
but
got
it is hard. It's like as soon as you get hit and the back end spins out and you're like trying to move.
Yeah.
You've got 4 cars pinning into you. It's it's really hard. But
I
similarly,
really
it's
like
the
some of the
Defender.
cars as well.
Yeah.
Is it the Berserker?
The Brawler was
Brawler,
the
which
sports.
is kind of the new sports off-road kind of growling.
Yeah, it's in one of the new
machine.
DLC
Yeah, it's
packs.
It's
awesome.
in I believe it's Ill-Gotten Gains. It's in there.
The last one, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing I love about it is that there's all this stuff again, and it's free, which is crazy. It's coming out on September 15th. Interestingly, it's only coming out on PC, PS4, and Xbox One because Rockstar's made a decision that the last gen consoles just aren't powerful enough to kind of support all of this stuff now.
Yeah.
Which is, I wonder if that spells the end for it. Full stop. We don't know. We'll find out soon. But the other kind of nice few things about it, you can make packs with other players if you want to during some of them. So rather than in penned in, you can make packs with other people to push other people out the circle,
Okay.
and then you share the prize winnings together, and you do it all through the kind of the quick menu
That's
on the
really
on the
sneaky.
touchpad. Yeah, like obviously we didn't know that, but I heard some of the
Because
Rockstar
you
guys
could,
talking about
and then
it.
these are like lots of kind of meta games where like one of you could then choose like a Jeep or something or a tractor,
Yeah.
like to just clear out a bunch of people
Yeah.
and take one for the team.
Yeah. And then the other ambient mode that we played briefly was the one where you had to go around and get all the checkpoints, which were dotted around cities. Some just kind of on roads and others
On a
hidden
roof.
on top of stuff that you've got to climb up. And again, that would make sense to work as a team to get as many as possible.
Yeah,
It was like Challenge Annika.
Although I did win that. And I wasn't part
Well, I
of
was in the
team,
bathroom,
just-
so
good.
I wasn't really in the competition. I think it's, I really enjoyed all these activities. Obviously, if you play a lot of GTA Online, they've done some updates where, you have gang wars now that appear randomly.
Yeah.
But even when you're doing those, it's just kind of enemies that are appearing on your map in free mode. It doesn't really feel like it's its own thing.
Yeah.
I think this is like the perfect balance. I know we have been very frustrated often hopping in and out of lobbies, and you can spend most of your time playing the game waiting for screens to load. So this is that perfect middle ground where you can play all these different game modes without having to jump in and out of lobbies.
Yeah.
It works
There's
perfect.
a lot of variety, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
So that's it. GTA Online free mode events come out on September the 15th. And for all things Grand Theft Auto, stick right here on IGN.